a modern country in the Islamic world where even Google and Microsoft have invested billions. Yeah, friends, today we're going to explore that country, Malaysia. How will people in Malaysia be living a modern life in 2025? Why is this country a special destination for students wanting to study in Australia? Why does it attract more tourists than Dubai? And why does its nightlife feel like you're in Los Angeles? We'll try to find answers to all these questions in today's video. So let's get going. A wonderful trip to Malaysia. The official name of this country is the Federation of Malaya. Malaysia has a total population of about 34.5 million. That ranks it 45th in the world by population. The total area of Malaysia is around 330,000 square kilometers. By area, it ranks 66th in the world. Malaysia shares borders with Thailand, Brunei, and Indonesia. It also has a long coastline along the South China Sea. This beautiful Muslim country in Southeast Asia is spread across two main islands. About 78% of the population here, people live in cities, with only about 22% living in rural areas. In Malaysia, people from various ethnic groups live together. The locals are very hospitable and warm-hearted. Although the official language is Malay, English is also widely spoken. Around 60% of the population are Muslim, 19% Buddhist, 9% Christian, and 6% Hindu, with the rest following other religions. People of all faiths are free to practice their religion here. That's why Malaysia is often called a modern Islamic country. Malaysia. 10 years after Pakistan, in 1957, Malaysia gained independence. At that time, Abdur Rahman took office as the newly elected first leader. Looking at the country's development and modern lifestyle today, you can't help but be amazed. Malaysia has now become comparable to Dubai in many ways. The country's GDP is $430 billion, and the average annual income per person is $12,470. Malaysia's currency is the ringgit, which is exchanged at a fixed rate with both Pakistani and Indian rupees. Manufacturing plays a big role in Malaysia's economy. Industry plays the biggest role, especially electronics, automobiles, and chemicals. Also, Malaysia's tourism sector is super important for the country's economy. The country produces the most palm oil in the world, which is exported to various countries. Malaysia is one of the rare places where petrol is almost cheaper than water. This is mainly because Malaysia produces its own oil and the government heavily subsidizes petrol. You'll be surprised to know that there are over 2.4 million Indians in this country. So you can find Indian communities all over different parts of Malaysia. Because Malaysia has so many green trees and forests, people here hardly suffer from breathing problems. They breathe in clean, fresh air. Malaysia is often called the land of kings because back in the day, every region had its own ruler. That's why even today you can find tons of old palaces and royal buildings all across the country. You can see some amazing architecture. Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, is the country's biggest and most populated city. The city has a population of about 1.8 million. One of the world's most famous landmarks, the Petronas Twin Towers, is located here. Whenever you search for Malaysia online, this incredible building is the first thing you notice. Until 2004, the Twin Towers were the tallest buildings in the world. The city is clean, modern, and really charming. Interestingly, Malaysia has 10 times these of Pakistan. Even though they gained independence years later, in terms of development, they are now almost 50 years ahead. To understand why, we need to look back at history. Islam came to Malaysia in the 10th century through Arab traders. Before that, the majority of the population followed Hinduism and Buddhism. In the 1800s, the British took over Malaysia, just like they did with the Indian subcontinent. But during those dark colonial times, an extraordinary leader was born in Malaysia who led the country toward the light of independence. His name was Tunku Abdul Rahman. He was born in 1903. Born in Singapore, this great leader led the independence movement and freed Malaysia. Because of this, he is honored as the father of Malaysia. Finally, on August 31st, 1957, Malaysia gained independence. The journey of modern Malaysia began in 1981 when Mahathir Mohamad became the country's prime minister. He put Malaysia on such a path of progress that the world couldn't help but take notice. The two biggest secrets behind this success were a corruption-free government and giving top priority to the education system. You'd be surprised to know that even today, Malaysia's literacy rate is almost 99.5%. That means the whole country is nearly fully educated. In fact, if you study a few semesters in Malaysia, Australia makes it pretty easy for Malaysian students to get a visa. So one of the easiest ways for students to go to Australia is through Malaysia. Kids there start school at 7 years old, so they can fully enjoy their parents' care beforehand. Malaysians are generally calm and peaceful people. The country is built on Islamic values, and its currency is also it's strong. As a result, the people here live in peace, safety, and comfort. A large number of Pakistanis are also happily living here. Many are involved in hotel management, tourism, grocery stores, restaurants, and the clothing business. Malaysia is also rapidly advancing in the field of technology. Companies like Google are investing over $2 billion here, which benefits the whole country. When it comes to the cost of living, around 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit a month covers food, housing, and all daily essentials. Which is the biggest hotel in the world? Many might guess Dubai's Burj Al Arab or Burj Khalifa, but actually the biggest hotel in the world is in Malaysia, called the First World Hotel. It's made up of 3 huge towers with a total of 7,351 rooms. Spanning over 500,000 square feet, this hotel is the largest in the world both in terms of room count and size. A fun fact is that some floors of the hotel are often covered in clouds, so they have to repaint those areas almost every day. Malaysia is truly an amazing country, even if you can't get a Dubai visa. So forget Dubai and come to Malaysia instead. Here you'll find modern living alongside amazing natural beauty. According to the 2024 report, about 16 million people traveled to Malaysia, while Dubai had around 15 million tourists. That means Malaysia actually gets more visitors than Dubai. Let's check out what kind of beauty this country has that draws so many tourists. Travelers usually start off in Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is truly a charming city, so much so that modern and attractive. Many people call it the London of Asia. In Malaysia, it rains about 250 days out of the year, so you get to see a lot of rainfall here. The towering skyscrapers all over the city will leave you amazed, and their architectural style is really unique. But among all the buildings, the most eye-catching is the Twin Towers, which have become a symbol of Malaysia's identity. Tourists come especially to visit the towers. You'll also find stunning swimming pools on the rooftops of many buildings in the city. Malaysia's transportation system is very advanced. Trams, metro, trains, and buses are all easy to use and convenient. When you're wandering around Kuala Lumpur, you won't even feel like you're in Asia. It actually feels more like you're walking through a European city. One of the best things about this country is that it's way cheaper compared to Dubai or Europe. You don't really need to carry a lot of cash when traveling in Malaysia, because the country is almost completely cashless now. Most places accept online payments, and the most popular method is e-wallets. Here you can get a meal for just 5 to 6 ringgit. At another hotel, a night's stay costs around 70 ringgit. If you wander around the city, you'll see lots of Indians and Pakistanis. When you go to Bukit Bintang Street in Kuala Lumpur, you'll definitely face one problem. You'll get really hungry. That's because the food streets here are so tempting, the smell alone will pull you in. The best part is that halal restaurants are easy to find here. Compared to Dubai, there's a lot less indecency around. Bukit Bintang's nightlife is pretty famous. You won't even notice time passing while you're walking around. For shopping, for those who love, this area is like heaven. It feels like you're walking through Times Square in America. If you want to experience Malaysian culture up close, you've got to check out Central Market. One, you'll find tons of shops here, and every single one is full of Malaysia's unique vibe. Kuala Lumpur has a special spot called Little India, where you can easily find all kinds of Indian stuff. Did you know that it's one of the most beautiful places in the world? The list of mosques includes those in Malaysia. Malaysia's national mosque has a roof shaped like an umbrella, making it a unique and eye-catching design. It's the largest mosque in Malaysia, and even non-Muslim tourists come to visit. Just a few kilometers from Kuala Lumpur is Putrajaya, known as a center of Islamic culture. The city is really beautiful, and it's also home to Dr. Zakir Naik. The Putrajaya Mosque is one of the main attractions here. In this city, there's a total ban on alcohol and intoxicants. It's here. The total population is about 1.28 million. If you want to get a taste of history, you definitely have to see the Sultan Abdul Samad building. Malaysia also attracts a lot of Buddhist tourists because of the famous Batu Caves, where a huge statue stands and it's known as one of the largest Hindu temples outside India. About 50 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur is a hilly area called Genting Highlands, home to the world's largest hotel, and you can experience an exciting nightlife there. It feels like you're right in the middle of Los Angeles. Penang, Malaysia's second biggest city, is on the UNESCO World Heritage List. This city is famous for its rich culture, and if you want to enjoy Malaysia's natural beauty, Langkawi is definitely a must-visit spot. The white sandy beaches here are stunning, the resorts are amazing, and the hanging bridges up on the hills will take you to another world where you're above and the clouds are below. Education here is completely free for the locals. University tuition fees range between 10,000 to a few thousand ringgits. Currently, the country's Prime Minister is Anwar Ibrahim. If you found this informative video helpful, please like it and share it with everyone. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us. Thanks for watching.